Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Siberia. And this is a new film from Abel Ferrara, who has previously done films like Bad Lieutenant, New Rose Hotel, King of New York. Haven't seen King of New York. I saw one of his more recent films, Tommaso, that also starred Willem Dafoe last year, and this film also stars Willem Dafoe as Clint, a man who is off in a secluded cabin, kind of little shop, and he occasionally interacts with people, but for most of the time, he starts fluidly going through dreams and visions and really experiencing and thinking about his life. And this film starts off and the credits are rolling and Willem Dafoe is doing narration and you're kind of setting up his character's perspective on things. And then we just jump right in and plopped right into this situation. And I think one of the first things to kind of get out of the way is the more and more I watch Abel Ferrara's films, especially recent ones, I appreciate more than I think they're strong films overall. I feel like I could appreciate his ambition and his creative process and the just technical prowess that goes into his films. This is a beautifully shot film, and how the camera moves from cinematographer Stefano Falovini, and it's just how smooth and just with ease the camera moves about the space and how it frames and really brings the attention to what it needs to bring the attention to in this scene. And it's so crisp in how it's presented and impactful. And you need that to go along with, especially if you're going to be doing something like this film, which feels like a fluid transition between dreams and visions and ideas. And that's really what this film is. If you're somebody who goes in wanting a cohesive narrative and something that feels like it's going to pay off in an easily accessible way, this ain't it. So don't go in expecting that. Go in expecting you're going to have an experiential ride where you're thrown in and basically your anchor is Willem Dafoe. And Willem Dafoe is an extremely talented actor. No matter what kind of material you throw his way, he makes the most of it. Whether it's over-the-top campy Norman Osborn and Spider-Man, or playing Max Schreck, an actual vampire in Shadow of the Vampire, or was his name Klaus in Life Aquatic, being just offbeat and sensitive and rash, or being extremely intense and foreboding in The Lighthouse, or being a leading man in At Eternity's Gate, and carrying a film, and he carries this film. He has done these experimental things with Tommaso and Antichrist, and he shows that he can carry and commit completely to this role, and you feel the emotion through him. And that's what's the most meaningful and important thing in this film, is that you feel his journey, because this film is nothing but his emotional experience. He might cut between conversations with some people, like a wife from his past, and having a confrontation with her, or having a confrontation with a bear randomly attacking him out of nowhere, and experiencing his fear. You have these cuts to him like clinging to a cliff, or him having very graphic sexual encounters on screen that are very vulnerable. Willem Dafoe's very comfortable being naked and in sex scenes in movies, I have come to realize. And he's just so committed, and there's so much going through here, and you're confronted with these different ideas. Like, he has a conversation with a character played by Simon McBurney, credited as the magician, and he just has this conversation, one of the very many just fluidly transitioned vignettes in this film, and talking about how reason is an obstacle, and obviously there's not a whole lot of reason going on in this film. It's just fluidly going from thing to thing. He's on this ride with these horses through the wilderness, and you're just cutting through all of these different kinds of experiences, and his confrontation with his wife of him talking about how she destroyed his life and how she says they destroyed their life together, and having these confrontations. And basically this is just a journey of self-exploration through this character, and if you're all in on that, you're all in on that. If you're not, this is just going to be an artful kind of process played out in front of you. And that could be enough for you. And that if that is enough for you as a viewer, I think that's pretty special. This one didn't quite click for me. I definitely appreciated it, and I appreciated what they were going for. And I thought Willem Dafoe was great. It just, by the end of the film, I didn't feel completely satisfied that I really got something out of this film besides that, like, tickling my fancy of somebody who loves a well shot and impressive film with strong performances. Like, I could watch Willem Dafoe act for days, but this particular film narratively just felt too fluid and too abstract to really catch me emotionally. I felt distant from it, and when you're not feeling invested in something, you're not going to get the full experience out of it. But I would say if you're a cinephile out there, this one's definitely worth checking out, because it might click with you, and maybe Abel Ferrara's films click better with you than it does with me. So don't let that get in the way of you giving this film a shot. If you're somebody that's very much a more mainstream movie watcher, this one's not for you. So thumbs up for those cinephiles, give it a try. Our mainstream moviegoers, probably not the thing that you want to be trying out. But those are my thoughts on Siberia. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.